All right, hi 333. This is the lesson for April 20th. These are the notes that you should have. They should say multi-step inequality equations. So this week we're going to be working on inequalities. Inequalities are the equations that involve the less than, greater than, or equal to signs. This should be reviewed from 7th grade. I actually pulled these first 3 questions from a 7th grade ANET. So it should be review. We're obviously going to take it a lot further by the end of the week, but today and tomorrow should be somewhat of review. So the first one is talking about a chorus giving a concert. The cafeteria can hold a maximum of 159 people. There are 15 people in the chorus, and the chairs will be set up in rows of 9 chairs for the audience, okay? So since there's going to be 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, plus the 15 up front, I'm thinking 9 has to be the one that has the variable. So I can get rid of A and B, because in A and B, 15 is 15n. It should be 9n, right? And we're adding the 15 people because that's the choir singing. Now, the information given to us, it says that it can hold a maximum of 159. So that means that it includes 159. So that means that the amount of people that can attend is 159 or less. So we would choose less than or equal to, which would be D in this case, because it includes 159. All right, in the next one, it says, which graph represents the solution to the inequality below? Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to treat it like a normal equation, as if there was an equal sign in there, and then solve it that way. The only way it's going to change is if you have a negative coefficient, a negative number in front of the variable, but in this case, there isn't. So what I would do is I would draw my river through the less than sign. I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and I end up with 4v is less than 12. Then I divide both sides by 4, and I end up with v is less than 3. So I'm looking at one of the ones that has the dot on 3. So that would be B and C. So I can get rid of A and D. Now, I can see the difference between B and C is that one is a filled in circle and one is an open circle. It's going to be a filled in circle if it has a line underneath it, like these signs up here, this less than or greater than sign. That's going to be a filled in circle. Whereas if it's just less than or greater than, it's going to be an open circle. So since our problem right here does not have a line underneath it, I'm going to choose the answer that has an open circle. So I'm going to choose C. Right there. All right, the one at the bottom. Student group is having a dance-a-thon. They want to raise money, so they need to raise at least $500 to go. So that means it includes 500 and it's numbers that are bigger than 500. So I'm going to choose the greater than or equal to sign for 500, like that. Then it says that they have already raised $40, so that means I'm going to be adding 40. And they're going to raise $10 for each hour that the group dances. So 10 per H. So this is the inequality that I'm going to be starting with, and I'm going to solve it just like the one up above. So I'm going to draw a river. Since it's addition, the opposite is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 40 from both sides. And when I do that, I end up with 10H is greater than or equal to 460. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 10. And I'm going to get H is greater than or equal to 46. All right, so I need to choose one where the circle or the dot is on 46, so that would be C or D. I can get rid of A and B. And because it's a greater than or equal to sign, that means we're going to have the filled in dot, so we're going to choose D for that answer right there. All right, so just a little bit of a review, these signs right here and what they look like as a graph. So the first one says X is less than or equal to 5. So that sign means less than or equal to. So what that means is, because there's a line underneath, that's going to be a filled in circle. So I'm going to put a filled in circle at 5. And because it says less than, I'm going to draw the arrow pointing toward the numbers that are less than or smaller than 5. So this is what it should look like. All right. The opposite, that other sign, it says X is greater than or equal to -3. So I'm going to write that down. That sign means greater than or equal to. All right, because it has a line underneath, I will be filling in the circle at -3. Then it says it's greater than or equal to. So greater than means the number is bigger. So I'm going to draw my arrow toward the numbers that are bigger, and it's going to look like that. All right, next down here, it says x is less than 1. So it's simply less than 1. It does not include 1. It's just all the numbers that are smaller than 1. So I'm going to put an open circle at 1 and draw the arrow toward the smaller numbers, like that. All right, last one, that sign right there, that means greater than. All right, so I'm going to put my open circle at 0 because there is no line underneath. And since it's greater than, I'm going to go towards the numbers that are bigger than 0. So I'm going to draw my arrow to look like that. All right, so I'm going to help you with the first 2 on here. And then the rest, I'm just going to upload into your completed notes. So treat it like normal. You're going to draw your river through there. The opposite of addition is subtraction. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. I get x divided by 2 is greater than 9 minus 3, which is 6. Then I have to do the opposite of divide by 2, which is multiply by 2. So I times by 2 on both sides. And 6 times 2 is 12. So I get x is greater than 12. Now I need to graph this. Because there is no line underneath, it's going to be an open circle. And I'm going to put it at the number 12. And because it's greater than, I'm going to go towards the larger numbers. So this is what your answer should look like. All right, let me help you with that next one. I draw my river through the less than or equal to sign. I do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So -5 on both sides. When I do that, I end up with 4x is less than or equal to 13 minus 5, which is 8. Now I see 4x, that's multiplication, so the opposite is division. Divide both sides by 4, and I get x is less than or equal to, well, 8 divided by 4 is 2, so x is less than or equal to 2. Now, I'm going to put my circle or my dot at 2, and because there's a line underneath, I'm going to fill it in. And less than or equal to means I'm going to go towards these smaller numbers, just like that. All right, I know I said that I wasn't going to help you on the others. There is something I want to help you with. So we haven't gone over the negative coefficient thing that I mentioned. So go to the second page, up at the top, go to number 3 there. So see how it has a -4x? What's going to happen here is when you divide by -4 on both sides, the sign is actually going to flip. So right now you can see it's a greater than sign, all right? So I'm going to draw my line through there just like normal. I'm going to deal with that -7. So I'm going to do +8 on both sides, +8 on both sides. And I get -4x is greater than, sorry, not +8, +7. I already did it in my head. And I end up with 1 + 7, which is 8, okay? That's the first step. Now, the next part is I have to divide both sides by -4 because it's -4x, which is multiplication. When I divide by a negative number, the sign is going to flip. So instead of it being x is greater than -2, because 8 divided by -4 is -2, it's actually going to end up being x is less than -2. Okay, so that's the different thing. All right, so I'm going to draw my circle at -2 because there is no line underneath. I know it's going to be an open circle. And since it's less than, I'm going to go toward the smaller numbers. So this is how you're going to graph that answer. All right, I'm going to stop there. I will upload these notes. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.